All right, everybody, it's official. I think I've completely lost my mind. We planted over 100, well, almost 100 fig trees out here. We do have over 100. Not all of them made the final cut to be in the ground, and honestly, some of these will be swapped out as we acquire better varieties this winter. Just a little too late to purchase some cuttings now, and the plants get kind of expensive when you're planting them at this scale. But what you have here is a mini orchard of sorts, where we have some of our favorite fig varieties, some maybe less favorite, but they were shared with us and we acquired for free. So they're placeholders, but lots of figs nonetheless. I mean, this is a really exciting development because we have all our annual vegetables, our elderberry, our raspberry, our passion fruit, all this cool stuff planted out here. Citrus coming soon. We might start that this weekend. But we have pretty much all the figs in the ground. At the very end of that row, there's actually some blueberries and some rabbit eye blueberries that are going in there. We felt very inspired after we went blueberry picking recently, and the blueberries were great. Rabbit eyes are a very vigorous one for anyone interested. So we're just amending the soil a little bit with some peat, and then they'll be good to go. But you can see here we have the irrigation set up for the figs. It was looking a little dry out here, so I actually waited a couple days before I decided to record this. You'll still see when we get to it. There's a couple figs I brought from the balcony to kind of condense a little bit. It was getting a little crazy there. And the figs there grew really tall with really big leaves because there is less sun. So kind of, I think that's in a response when there's lower light conditions, the leaves get bigger. But of course they're going to be toast out here. So I just did the best I could, and we'll wait for those to kind of regrow a little bit. But let's take you through, show you what kind of fig stuff we got going on. The irrigation is much needed because I don't think there's any rain in the forecast for the next week. We might get a little Monday, but we're going to find out. But to start here, I have a couple figs that I brought from New York actually, kind of consolidating up there too. But we have white Adriatic and Adriano, which both survived the winter up there as a mild winter. And they're more established, so these are second-year plants, but I did have to hack them back a good bit. You can still see some of the cuts, and I had to cut the roots up a bit to kind of fit them in this situation here. But we did a video on Adriano, which we have 1, 2, 3 other ones right next to it. It's an amazing fig. It's really awesome. It's so vigorous. And already we're starting to see double bumps, which has me excited. I mean, even on the small one, I think it's actually, look at that. If you guys can see that, the double bump there, it's actually starting to push out on this one and start to become a fruit, which honestly, I haven't had that experience with Adriano, especially our one in New York, I think, because it's just in such a growth mode. It's been very shy with bearing, but these ones here are very short. These were cuttings I stuck in the dirt. That's it, no rooting hormone. I filled the fabric pot up with dirt, stuck it in, mulched it, and left it alone. And these fully rooted, and now they're even trying to fruit at this size. It's amazing. But we do get full sunlight out here. There is no shortage of that. But yeah, these Adriano figs are doing really good. Kind of like a peachy flavored big green fig. It's my wife's favorite. I'm personally more of a Chicago Hardy guy. But we got a lot of other figs here that might steal my heart. We'll see. I'm a big fan of Chicago Hardy. But yeah, maybe we'll see some fruit on white Adriatic. I'm not sure. And if it does set, it might ripen a little bit too late. But I actually like white Adriatic more as a rootstock. We did try fruit and we liked it. It kind of had like a strawberry-like flavor. But it's so easy to root. It roots extremely easily. So this has actually been a rootstock for some of the figs out here, and then we'll kind of bury them deeper than the graft in some cases. But it tends to be mild enough here where even grafted figs can make it for quite a while. So we also have a grafted Smith here, and this one's grafted onto Adriano. Oh, whoops. There we go, bark grafted. And that's just doing really good. So that was an even thicker cutting that I just stuck in, and it did really good, and I grafted at the same time as I was rooting the cutting. So this is one of those crazy projects, and it's doing really good for being a first-year tree. I mean, all the trees you see out here, these were started this winter. So figure maybe around December for a lot of them. And they're doing really good. A lot of them are fruiting already. They're a great size, great thickness. This one is Partridge Eye, which is a California find, and it's already setting double buds all over. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. This is an interesting one because it's one of our few like California seedlings here. So I'm interested to see. It's supposed to be a common fig too, so we'll see how it is uncaprified. Quality is supposed to be similar though between caprified and not. But we also have some JH Adriatics here. Quite a bunch of these, and they're just kind of getting going. A little more fig mosaic virus on these. They might just be a little more stressed. But I am seeing some double bumps there, so more than welcome to fruit because I've heard that these are really good. Let's see, what else do we have here? Is this Malta Black? Yeah. And look at that, we already got figlets like really on there. And it's gonna be ready to produce some more. I've heard great things about Malta Black, and if it's anything like Chicago Hardy, which they say it is, it's debated whether or not it's really a Mount Etna, but if it tastes anything like it, I will love it. And it seems to be very reliable. This is De La Sinuera. I'm gonna butcher a lot of pronunciation, but this one is also double bumping out here and quite prolifically. I mean, this one is a heavy producer, funny enough. It ripens late, and we didn't get to try a good fig off of it yet. The only fig we tried, I think the conditions just weren't right. Maybe it was too cool, not enough sun. It tasted very bland, so I'm giving this one another chance just because this tree is so healthy. We have another one that's not so healthy that I'm trying to rejuvenate. We got a couple tiny strawberry varieties here. We have some better examples out here too, but they're just kind of doing their thing. This one's kind of disappointing me. I have bigger specimens and like one over there that aren't really putting out any figlets or anything. They're just growing, which is fine. Some figs will take more than 1 year to grow, but I'm just a little impatient with them, and I'm used to these ones that just start pumping out figlets right away. O'Rourke, LSU O'Rourke. Another one, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but beautiful tree, very healthy grower, very vigorous, and this one seems to be fruiting. My big tall one on the balcony did not like the low light conditions. I mean, it grew fine, but it didn't like it for fruiting. This now, let's see, oh, Italian 320. So it's supposed to be the same as Italian 258, but I really like the leaves on this. They're really thick, and the growth is slower than I've heard it could be. I've heard this could be a really fast one, but I'm happy with how it's doing nonetheless, and it looks like it might try and fruit for us. We also have some Smith here. This one just has one little figlet at the bottom, so we'll see what happens with that, but it looks like it might push out some more. Also supposed to be a top tier fig, especially for the south here. Now let's see, I know this is probably a Verdolino. You can see, let's get in there. That's already pushing out some figs. Oh, no, it's improved Celeste. The leaves are similar. You'll see what I mean when we get to Verdolino. That's another Smith. Let's see. This might be the Verdolino row. Yeah, okay. So, I was lying to you guys. There's Verdolino. You can see the leaves are not far off. It's easy to confuse, but improved Celeste, I gotta say, wow. It's impressing me so far. I mean, I love the growth on it. I love the leaves. And it's fruiting early. So, can't complain there. More Verdolino. The Verdolino is actually doing really good. This is another one I think is just an excellent fig for the south, it's seeming. I mean, in the heat and the humidity, it's supposed to be well, we've seen one ripe fig. We got a Breba off of this. Excuse me. But the Breba was pretty bland. I wasn't a fan of it, so we're waiting to try the main crop on it. But we've heard it's really good. We got this one originally, and we propagated a few to kind of reduce our costs of acquiring it. And now, at this point, we can just propagate it freely. So, quite a few Verdolino out here. More improved Celeste. More figlets going. Verdolino. This is probably another strawberry verite, and it is. And again, see, I'm not seeing any signs that this wants to fruit. It just wants to grow. And I mean, I love the foliage on strawberry verite. really, really nice. I mean, those leaves are unbeatable. One of my favorites, if not my favorite, maybe. But no fruit. Not the first year, at least. This one, actually, we might get lucky. I see what looks like a double bump there. I just want to try one, really, because I heard these are good. That's it. I just want a little taste. We have a white Genoa there. I heard it's actually not a good one for this climate, so kind of like a placeholder until I get something better. I have my eyes on like green Michurinska and Floria and several other hardy fig varieties. We also have Petite Negra. These were acquired for free too, just stuck the sticks into the dirt. And this is supposed to be a good berry type fig. We'll see how they perform out here. We also have, I don't know the pronunciation on this one. Long d'Out, LDA. You guys will know what I'm talking about. This one's actually putting out quite a lot of double bumps here. And the leaves are cool, snowflakey. I mean, it's hard not to like a lot of fig leaves. Some are definitely better than others, but a lot of them are just very unique. So, looking forward to trying this one. Actually, bingo, look at that little figlet going there. So we're gonna try this one. I'm excited. It's supposed to be really good. We got 3 of those there. And we finished this row here with 3 LSU purples, which the birds like hanging out in the back of these rows, as you can tell. But looks like we got some double bumps on these too. I should link who I got these from. If he's still selling them, it'll be contingent on that. It might be a little too late in the year, but got these LSU purple cuttings from a really nice guy off of Etsy. So, shout out. Definitely very happy with the quality of those, and they rooted very well. They should be really good plants. All of the LSUs really just seem to be great plants for here. Makes sense, really. So we also have just plain old Celeste back here. Some of these, at least, are pending verification, like the Petite Negra, like the Celeste, the white Genoa. We got these all as free cuttings from someone who, unfortunately, their father was going into an assisted living facility, and he tried his best to remember the varieties to share with us, as we kind of did them a favor too. And we're just kind of making sure that they are what they are. But we got quite a few freebies that way, and that was really nice to kind of preserve those as well. So here now, we just got a row of Chicago Hardy and Violet de Bordeaux. The specific strain is Little Miss Figgy, but this seems to be one that has reverted out of its supposed dwarfism. It's not dwarf, it grows plenty fast. But you can see Chicago Hardy are recently established / suffering. Unfortunately, some of them are majorly sunburned, but it's as easy as just getting rid of some of these leaves here and let them regrow. They'll come back. So, not too worried about it. Some of these I did sunscreen, but now the sun is just so strong. It's not working like it did in the spring, so little update for stuff like that. The Callan clay is an effective sunscreen for springtime. Once the UV index is like 11, not so much. It seems to burn right through anyway. But we'll just walk you down. Chicago Hardies, as far as the eye can see. It's just so easy to propagate and so tasty. We also, okay, so here starts the Violet de Bordeaux. And interestingly, this one seems to be shy to fruit on a lot of these, but not all of them. So some of them are just stuck in a growth mode, and then some of them, you can see, are getting ready to fruit. And I don't know what the deciding variable is, because some of them look exactly the same. That one's fruiting, or getting ready to fruit, and that one's not. It could be where I took the cutting from, and the hormones and the specific whatever else is going on that makes these things fruit, but it is interesting to see that variability on these Violet de Bordeaux. We also have up here, what are these? San Pierto? This was one that was hard to find information on. It could be one of 2 very different looking figs, but both supposedly taste good. I don't know, we'll see. There's another one again. All the ones we kind of got as freebies, I just stuck them in the dirt and kind of let them do their thing. I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. Now here, it's just one more Verdolino. It's also got a little double bump there. This one dropped a lot of leaves too, so I just wanted to grow a little more first. And now this row just kind of continues the Chicago Hardy. And by the way, you probably noticed by now, pardon the mess, these are all very recently planted and kind of set in here. This dirt will not be here in the long run. It's just crazy going on now, trying to hustle and plant things because it is really hot out here. More Chicago Hardy, looking pretty sad, but alive. They will recover. We have a couple Texas Everbearing here. Kind of put them in as placeholders because, again, I'm looking to acquire some better varieties. But they're here for now. They might do good, but they are brown turkey types, and with the kind of humidity we get here and the rain, they might not do good. I was trying to keep most of this orchard figs with closed eyes and just figs that generally performed well in this type of climate. Some of them are not that kind of fig, and we'll just see how they do this year. Worst case scenario, we will offer them up on FigBig or somewhere else, just to anyone else who lives in a drier climate who can actually enjoy these figs more than we would. So now just finishing up here. This is our big-leafed O'Rourke, just looking sad. Too much sun compared to where it was coming from. But you can see, I mean, this thing was actually over 6 feet tall, and I chopped it back just to kind of level it out, get it branching more, get some new growth going, because this is not going to fly out here. So, just nice and limp. Similar story with our strawberry verte here. This was a bigger one on the patio, and we chopped it and brought it out here. And then this last one, we got this one as a free bonus, I think, with one of our purchases. This is Battaglia green. It's another Adriatic type. And I'm really excited for these Adriatic types. I love berry-flavored, strawberry-flavored figs. So to add with the JH Adriatic, White Adriatic, Strawberry Verte, maybe even Verdolino a little bit, and Battaglia green on top of that. We have some really nice diversity with the Adriatics. It's burnt a little bit. It's another patio one. It was a little shorter though, so it may adapt a little quicker, we'll see. But then we got our blueberries here, just finishing the row, so that's not figs, but we got a couple yummy blueberries there. This is a Southern High Bush. The first, the first three here are Legacy, and the second two are O'Neill, and then the last 5 are going to be Rabbit Eye. And I'm bad enough with pronunciation, so I'm not going to go try and say this one. It starts with an O. It has some, it sounds Native American-like. I'll put it in the description if anything. You guys probably know what I'm talking about if you're into blueberries. But it's that Rabbit Eye. Very productive, and looking forward to putting those in the ground. But yeah, that is the full fig orchard tour for now. I'll update you guys as we put new interesting things in here or as we get some fruit going. But you can see right now, a lot are doing really well for their size. I mean, improved Celeste, LDA, Verdolino, Malta Black. We're getting a lot of fruit across the board from those types. So we should still get a decent yield despite this being a first year planting. And we're just kind of establishing things. But as you can tell, we are not just into hardy citrus, but figs are another passion of ours. And so for the nursery, we do plan on selling these eventually. We're trying to get some inventory sorted out now, and maybe we'll have some to offer this summer, maybe this fall. Probably just some of the more basic ones at the start, like Violet de Bordeaux, like Chicago Hardy. And then as time goes on, we will offer some of the more exotic ones, some of the rarer ones like Verdolino, and share those with you guys, especially as we get some good notes on these and as we get to try them and see how tasty they really are. But I'm excited to offer those. We'll be offering pomegranates too, elderberries. I mean, we're really trying to expand, so we're not just citrus, but we're trying to do all sorts of edible fruit trees and edible plants. But we love the stuff that's cold hardy and produces lots of yields and propagates easily too. Because it's kind of like an investment. You buy a plant and you can propagate it and make more plants. And that one plant may be the only one you have to buy in some of these cases. Especially with how fast stuff like figs and elderberries grow. It's just nuts. I mean, mulberries are up there too. It is in our name after all. So we are working on offering some mulberries. And you know what, before this video is over, let me just show you one of our mulberries here. So we'll take you over here. All sorts of fun tomatoes ripening and stuff. This is our Illinois Everbearing, doing great here. And the graft here, look at that cleft graft, healing really nicely. So this is grafted onto a white mulberry we took from New York. It was an air layer, and it's got one berry left on it. It tastes really good. It actually tastes like one of the local red mulberries that we air layered that tasted really good too. Red mulberries taste a lot better than white mulberries, just for the record. A little off topic here. But Illinois Everbearing is definitely a good tasting and productive mulberry. So we're looking forward to having at least a tree, if not several trees established here. They do grow a little bigger though, so we're trying to be careful with how we plant our mulberries and where we squeeze them in when we have space. But I'll show you one last thing, which is the recent mulberry air layers. So we're doing a little work here. Move that out of the way. So I was just soaking these because they got a little dry. I didn't have time with work to pick these out. But if you could see, that's a nicely rooted air layer. Not focusing, of course. There we go. It's always once you get the hands that things start focusing. But that is full of roots. And obviously this is a method you could do to citrus, figs, all sorts of things. But this is one of the ways we propagate trees here, especially if we need bigger ones or we need mother trees. But we got a couple there waiting for me to up-pot them after this video. But just wanted to show you guys that. And if you have any questions or comments, anything you want to talk about related to figs, this is your video. I'm trying to get a few more of these out, but definitely really excited to have some updates on this one. It's our largest fig undertaking yet, and it's a big step up from originally starting just a couple of these in some pots. And they did so good, they grew so easily, they were so rewarding. It's a great instant gratification plant. You get fruit within a year in a lot of cases. So again, that's one of the appeals to me, is I can stick a cutting in the dirt and try its fruit within the same year, which is really awesome. But that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.